Hello and welcome to CICD Test. As you all know, the whole course is there for free on YouTube for you to learn and excel in software testing. But if in case you are facing any difficulties in cracking the interviews, then we have come up with a complete new approach for interview preparation. So over here, we have the interview preparation Java plus Selenium batch. This is a live batch for 2 months. The course duration is going to be for 2 months. This is going to give you a complete boost in your confidence, as confidence is simply a byproduct of the knowledge that you have. Now to support this, we have our mock interviews from industry experts. We have a pool of manual and automation testing experts from the industry, and we will all come to cater you the best ever experience of a mock interview session. We are also going to provide you a detailed report of this interview session, wherein you will be able to identify what are the areas that you have to focus and what are your strong areas, so that you can lead your interview in the same direction as per your knowledge. The number of interviews that we are going to cover in this mock interviews package for 3000 only is 2. So we are going to conduct 2 mock interviews, one mock interview to understand where you stand today, and the second interview will be conducted once you are ready with all the gaps covered as advised as a review of your first interview. Nevertheless, keep watching and learning for free. Happy learning, all the best.
So, yeah, guys. So where were we? So today's session is going to be a very, specific to quit and close, and we'll see one more null pointer exception. How it is it really coming in Selenium, and where do we, generally get that? And I mean a couple of things related to Selenium API. Let's say, let's go through, you know. Let's take out the stress out of what? Okay, let me do it the other way. You can do it this way also, guys. Okay, so you can save it in string, the title of the page. So page title, you can save it like this, and then you can do driver.get title. Okay, this is the method that you can, use to get the title of the page where you are currently, situated, and then you just print it out. Okay, like this. So okay, let's forget about this. Let's forget about close or quit. Okay, we'll discuss this just in a few minutes. Okay, so if I'll run this now, okay, so your Chrome will open. And whatever is the title of the page, the title of the page is Maven repository iu.github.bonnie-garcia WebDriver Manager and 5.6.2. This is the title of the page. How would you see the title of the page? How would you confirm if this is the right title of the page or not? So you just have to click on, right click and go to inspect. And over here, just click on any of the elements and press Control F. And you can simply, type title like this. And there is usually, not very much, issues that people face to find the title of the page. So you will be having at the very top only, you will be having the title of the page, the title tag you will be having. The very first title tag is your title. Okay, so this is your title of the page. So if I just copy this, okay, and I paste it over, okay, in the notepad, let's say, okay, do I get the notepad? No. Okay, let me paste it over here. Okay, this is my empty notepad. I'm pasting it over here. And this is what I got from the Selenium code. Okay, so let me paste this over here as well. So isn't this the exact same title that I've got? Right? So whenever you are, looking for the title of the page, then you can simply go like this. Or what you can do is you can simply, instead of saving this into another variable, you can simply call it like this. Okay, so I'm just commenting it down for your future purpose. You can just come and check it over here. Okay, now guys, okay, okay guys, so what will happen now if I, okay, I simply, you know quit the browser. Okay, So, two things I wanted to tell you were, first of all, you know, when you quit the browser, okay, when you close the browser, only your current window, current browser window will be closed. Okay. But when you quit the browser, okay, all your windows, okay, browser windows that are open will be closed together. Okay. So what does this mean? Okay. So this is one browser window. Okay. Now this is not the browser window, guys. Okay. If you are, using close and you are, see, this we are going to see in the later sessions, that how you are going to switch into tabs. Okay. And also, see, if I go here and I select new window, now these are two different windows. Okay. This is a different window of the same, automated profile that it is, you know appearing. These are two different tabs. Okay. But the browser window is same. Okay. And over here, the browser window is different. So this is browser window, let's say number 2, and this is browser window number 1. So when you your pointer, your Selenium pointer is on this DOM. Okay. So now if you will choose to close the browser, what will happen? The whole window will be closed. Okay. This window, no matter how many tabs it is having, it will be closed. But just in case you are using your quit command, at that moment, your this window will be closed, and as well as your the other window that is open via automation, that is also that will be also closed. Okay. So this is the difference, this is the major difference between quit and close, and this is exactly what you are going to tell in the interview as well. But okay, but let's not only keep it over here. Okay. Let's not only keep or restrict our knowledge to this, because this is the answer that everyone in the market is giving. Okay. But the interviewers will be impressed if they are going to listen this answer from you, because it is what it is. Okay. Because many people are only interested in floating from the above of the just floating on the sea, and just not gaining the knowledge going underwater is what I believe. I mean, they are not deep diving into the topic, and these kind of things are not giving them more confidence in the interview. But definitely after today's session, whenever your quit and close discussion is are going to be done inside your team, or you know in the interview as well, you will be able to express some information which is not usually found with people who are preparing as a fresher. Okay. I don't think that much institutes are covering this as well. Okay. So two things that I want to add it over here, like, that is that when you quit your browser, okay, the session ID goes null. Okay. And when you close your browser, session ID is retained, but the session gets invalid. Now I tell you something. Okay, these are the two things that I wanted to, throw some light on today. So, just be with me. You're going to, get some knowledge which will be really, useful for you in the interviews, and also to, you know, get the charm over the people who are really telling you that they know automation. Okay. So, guys, what will happen is, see, just see this very carefully. See, it's very simple, only if you pay attention. Okay. Just a second. Okay, guys. Okay. So, see, first of all, what I wanted to tell you is, see, here, whenever the driver is created, okay, whenever the driver is launched, okay, and whenever we are going to get some URL, okay, whenever we, mouse over on driver while the execution is happening, okay, it will give us some session ID, okay. So that session ID is something which is very important for, your driver to really do all the commands that you are asking it to do. Make sense? Okay. Now, let's do one thing. See, guys, we are going to run the same everything, okay? But then let's get the title again over here. Okay, driver dot get title. Okay, let's get it over here again. Okay, now we will see once we have quit from the driver. Okay, we have used our quit command. Then again, if we are trying to get the title of the same particular window, then what is going to happen? Okay, so what I'm going to do is, see, there is one thing that is given by Eclipse, which is debug. Okay, now debug is something which we are going to use in our course. Now, from now on, we are going to use in our course, quite a lot of time we are going to use that. So you should know how does debug work. Okay, and also in your companies where you work, and wherever you are going to get your job for a particular end-to-end test case, whenever you are stuck, you are going to use this same you know strategy to see where exactly your code is getting stuck. If you are not able to check your code, or validate your code via the console results. Okay, might be the error is given in some other line, and it is because of something else that is coming from the upper section of your code, and those commands are not really identified by the console, so you have to use this debug thing. So there is one debug thing that is given by Java. So if you will see, over here, there is one spider kind of a thing. Okay. Now this is your debug option. Okay. You just have to do nothing. Okay. Just have to click on debug on this one, or you can do one thing, that you can right click on your, class, and then there is one debug as Java application option. Okay. So you can do this as well. So whichever way suits you, fine. Okay. But one thing you have to always remember, that this is going to switch your complete perspective of Eclipse window. Okay. But and for that you have to have your, you know some pointer. So what if we are going to add a pointer over line number 18? See, there is no pointer over here, right? So the moment I double click on line number 18, it is going to add one pointer over here. Okay. And if I click on the same pointer again, double click on the same pointer again, then the pointer will be gone. See? So now the pointer is gone. Okay. But what does this pointer do? If I just double click on this pointer is just going to stop the code right here at this very line. Okay. So before executing the further code, the pointer is going to stop at this line. Okay. And then we will see that how we can move step by step and see how our code is working. Okay. So first of all, instead of running on the pointer and debug. Just let's run it and see what exactly is the error that is coming, okay, or the exception that is coming. So I just simply run this, okay. So I'll get the window over here somewhere. Yeah. So my Chrome has opened, and my URL will be reached. Okay. Yeah. URL is reached. And now it is throwing me which exception? Like I said, no such session exception. So now see, many a times in your interviews, okay, you are going to be asked, and which line it is throwing on? Uh, okay. So which line it is throwing the exception on? See, line number, this is my pilot class, and line number 30 is throwing. Okay. So I'm going to add my exception over here only. No such session exception. So at the time of interview also, they are going to ask you that how many exceptions in Java have you really learned? Also, how many exceptions or errors have you seen while you're Selenium code? Okay. Okay. So see, there are two things. When you talk about Java, you can say you have done a lot of exceptions in Java, null pointer exception, arithmetic exception, and your exception E class is also there. Then there is one, error class which was throwing, stack overflow error and out of memory error. Remember? So we have discussed about them, right? So these are, I mean, you know, at the scale where you are, and the kind of job you are looking for as a fresher. I mean, till you are having like 2 to 3 years of experience, only some of the exceptions are enough to be expressed in the interview. But the point is that whatever you are expressing, you should know, that particular exception in and out. Okay. So this is no such session exception. Now, if you are sharing that, there is no such session exception that I have faced in my career, then you should know what exactly is it, right? So that's what exactly we are going to see today. Now, see, over here in the console, it is saying that session ID is null. And that's what exactly I have written over here, that when you quit your browser, your session ID goes null, right? Your session ID goes null. So let me do one thing. Let me, add this value as well over here. Okay. Just a second. Okay. Now, see, guys, this line is throwing me the exception, but I want to see that what exactly is occurring this exception. So I'll give a pointer at line number 18, and, I will just right click and I will debug as Java application. The same thing will happen if you click on here. Okay, and then just before that, just save it so that this pop-up never comes. And now, see guys, my Java is, the whole code is going to open the Chrome for me. Okay. Now, see, it is asking me to change the perspective. As I told you that it is going to change the whole perspective of your Eclipse editor. So I'm just clicking on switch, okay, because my code has stopped at line number 18. Okay. So I click on switch, okay, and now the whole window is switched over here. Now see, your driver is having all the details like this. Okay. Your driver is having all the details like this. So what you have to do is, see guys, you need not to worry much about this. Okay. It is none of your concern so far. Okay, later we will see what exactly, how exactly we are going to use it. But right now what is going to happen is, okay, let me make it big so that it is easier and visible to you. So guys, just see, okay, we are going to, reach to this particular line of code. Okay, we have seen that, okay, that what our console is also giving, okay, it is giving us nothing. Okay, and let us see where exactly our automation screen has stopped. Our automation screen has stopped right here, right? At line number 18, it is going to get the URL. Okay, so when the line number 18 is going to be executed, your URL will be reached. Okay, over in your window over here, right? Over here, your window will be reached. Okay, so what you have to do is you just have to click on step over. So guys, there is one, whole, this taskbar kind of a thing is there. Okay, where you can, stop your uh, project. Okay, you can stop your execution from here, and then there is one, this step over and step into. Okay, this is step over and this is step into, if you can see, right? So the moment you click on step over, the whole code is going to go to the next line. Okay, the moment you click on step over, this is your step over. You have one, arrow like this, and you have one arrow like this. Okay, so you have to click on this, and this is your step over. Step over is the definition of this arrow, and then you have one like this. So you need not to worry about this or this. Okay, you just have to always click on step over to just go to the next line. Okay, to just go, if your code was here at this line number 18, so the moment you click on step over, it is going to reach to the next line, which is line number 20. Okay, and then it is going to execute your line number 18, and it is going to stop at line number 20. Okay, so let's do it again. Okay, because I have clicked on, stop this one. So let me again debug it, and this time I'm going to click on here to debug it. Okay, so now again it is going to stop at line number 18, and it is going to open my Chrome. Okay, the Chrome is open, and this data is still over here, and it has switched to the debug mode, and it is highlighting that okay, I am on line number 18. Okay, so that's all about debugging. Okay, now we will play with debugging to see whether our code is going all correct or not. Okay, so now I am going to click on step over, and parallelly I'm going to see what is going to happen to the screen. So the moment I click on, okay, let me split screen for this case if I can. Okay, okay, just a second. Okay, I have this and I should have this as well. Okay, okay, like this. Okay, now you will be able to see the screen very clearly. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, okay, let me delete this. So now I'm going to click on the step over. See guys, see very carefully what is going to happen. Okay, so the moment I clicked on step over, my URL is reached, and now the line that it is stopping on is line number 20. See, right? So this is how your debug is going to work. Okay, now understand this, guys. Okay, the moment I'm going to, mouse over on my driver, it is saying that there is some session ID that has been created. See, this is the session ID that has been created. So let me copy the session ID. Where I have mouse over, I have mouse over on driver. Okay, because driver is exactly the pointer which is okay. I'm, making it large so that now there is no point. So now we will switch and see what is happening on this. Okay, so that's okay. Now see guys, so at this line number, okay, this line number, what was my session ID at this line number? My session ID was this. Okay, some 309 starting and 41C ending, and this is always unique. This is always alphanumeric, and this is always unique. Okay, this cannot be, you know similar in all the cases. It has to be unique only. Okay, so every time you are creating your session or executing your Chrome, or doing any browser activity, first of all, by this very particular line, your session ID is created. Okay, this is your session ID. Okay, now if you will again mouse over to this driver, again the session ID is same, and I'm just copying the session ID again. It is the same thing that I will copy, I know, but just to showcase you, you know let's have it again. See, it is the exactly same session ID that is created over here, and it is saying, yeah, you are running Chrome on Windows, right? Similarly over here, okay, your code has not moved yet from this line. Okay, so what will be the session ID over here? Again, the session ID would be same, but your session ID is given to the driver, but it is not yet executed. Okay, so I again am going to make it like this, and then again here also I am saying that my session ID is the same. Okay, so let me execute it, okay, again, and just step over. So just one step ahead is it is going to go, and it is going to get me the, see, URL. Okay, so it has got me the URL, and now it has stopped on line number what? Line number, I don't know why did I stop at line number 25, because this is a commented line, so it will definitely move on to the further lines. And now again it has stopped at this line, and it has told us that it is, the title of the page is this. Now it has gone to this line, and it has given us the title of this page. See, let me increase the size of the console so it is easier and visible to you. See, this is the title of the page, and it has given us, it has thrown. Now if I again mouse over, step over, okay, no line, okay, now it is throwing the error. Now it has gone to some error, and it is saying that this error is coming, and it has thrown the error. Okay, now if I just go to my pilot class, okay, then if I mouse over to my driver.get title at this time, there is no session ID. See, there is no session ID. And in case of quit also, if I mouse over, there is no session ID. Okay, but here, am I able? Okay, the whole thing is done, I guess. So I'm not going to get any session ID now. So let me do one thing. Okay, let me take my pointer from line number 20 or some other line, and let me take my pointer to exactly this line, which is line number 34. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to again debug it, and let's see what now it is doing and what is happening now. Okay, so now my Chrome will be opening, my URL is going to reach, because now I have, I haven't kept my pointer at line number 18 at all. So my browser will be reached like this. Okay, and I'm again, after getting the URL, okay, and also the page title, my code has stopped at line number 34, right? So here, over here, if I go and check my, driver, am I getting my session ID over here? No, I'm not getting the session ID. I don't know why I'm not getting. Okay, so let's keep it at, line number 20 then. Okay, and let's check it again if I'm getting the session ID. Okay, it's okay, guys. See, if sometimes you get it, and sometimes your execution is completed, so you don't get it. Okay, so let's see if our, why, if our execution is getting completed, why is it getting completed, and let's see and try and debug it if there is any needed. Okay, so yeah, now your code is stopped, and let's see what is your session ID. Why I'm not getting the session ID? I was able to get the session ID so far. Um, okay. Okay, guys. So if you want to switch to your normal screen, you can switch like this. Okay. to your Java screen. You can just switch from your debug screen to normal screen like this. Okay. Now, I was getting the session ID so far. I am not getting the session ID now. So let me again close everything and try again using, not at the pointer at here. I'm keeping the pointer at here, and let me again run it in the debug mode like this. Okay. Okay. Um, okay. Am I not getting the option to run this one? Okay. Just a second, guys. Huh? So I have the option to run as, and then I can run as Java application, or I can debug as Java application. Okay. So I can do anything of that, but I will do it like this. And my pointer is on line number 24. And let's see now if I'm getting the session ID or not. Okay. Why I am not getting the session ID. Okay, I am switching again. And let's see if I am getting the session ID. I am not able to, okay, get the session ID. Let's see. Okay, generally, like we have, found the session ID over here. The same session ID we are going to get over here. Okay, guys, just check at your end if you are able to get the session ID the same way that I was getting the session ID over here. Okay, just mouse over on driver and check if you are able to get the session ID. Okay. Anyways, so till here, once you have reached till your quit. Okay, guys. Okay. When you have reached to your quit, your session ID is lost. Okay. The moment you reach on quit, your session ID is lost. So that is the reason when you come over here at driver.get title, it is throwing that no session ID exception and the session ID is null. Okay. So I'll look into it that why exactly it is not coming, and then I'll let you know. But you have seen how exactly it has come earlier, right? So it is the same way that you are going to get. Maybe I'll close my whole, Eclipse browser, Eclipse editor, and then I'll open it again. I'll I'll definitely not get these kind of things. Okay. Sometimes it's the browser, sometimes it's the current console, sometimes it's the DOM. But generally you will always get the session ID when you will mouse over on the driver. Okay. So now, guys, your session ID goes null like this. Okay. But in case of quit, okay, your session ID is null because your session ID is lost. But in case of close, your session ID always stays. Okay. Your session ID will be secured. Okay. Okay. But just because the browser is not open yet now, the browser, or I would say the current browser, okay, the current browser is not open now. So it will throw which exception? Invalid ID exception. Okay. So it will throw invalid ID exception if we are again using our driver after closing the driver. Okay. So now I will uncomment this line and comment driver.quit. What error are we getting over here? Okay. If you will, okay. Okay, let me close this and let me stop the execution from here as well. Okay. Now I am going to simply run this as a normal, Java application. And let's see what exactly is the error that we are that we are getting over here. Okay. I have not used quit. I have used close. Okay. And then your driver.get title is going to give us some exception. Okay. See, it has given us the exception. And what is this exception? Let's see. The exception says that, the exception says that there is socket exception and the connection reset has happened. Okay, and there is some error that has come because of this. Okay, and it is saying that your remote HTTP WebSocket listener on error. Okay, so why this error has come? Because of invalid session ID, right? So it is saying no such session exception. So this is the exact exception that you are going to get. Okay, let me return to my main screen, and over here, okay, again you are getting no such session exception. Okay, but this time what you are getting, okay, this time, okay, this whole thing is not for, it is occurring over here, but it is because of this line. Okay, so I'm pasting it over here, and here, see, no such session exception, but what exactly is the right exception? Okay, let me go and check again. Okay, my console is over here, and I'm going and checking it again, which says invalid session ID. Okay, so this is the major difference between close and quit, that your session ID is not lost in case of close. Okay, in case of close, your session ID is not lost. Okay, I can do it like this, that I will keep it in the next line like this. Okay, delete ID from here and keep ID over here so that it is complete transparency whenever you revise it. Okay, like this. Okay, it is again, okay, it is trying to, okay, it is saying me to, asking me to restart everything. So I'll restart and check. Okay, so just go and check at your system as well, guys. When you debug it, okay, definitely if I'll restart and I will do, definitely I'll be able to resolve this. But I want you guys to resolve it because you have already seen that we are able to get the session ID earlier, right? You just go and watch the video again, and you will see, you will know that how we are going to get the session ID. But the issue over here is that I do not want to get the session. I am not able to get the session ID over here now. So you resolve this issue. I'll definitely resolve and tell you in the next session. But you resolve this issue if at your end, or if you are even getting this issue or not, is also something we have to check. Okay, but now I am in my debug mode. Okay, so I have to switch to my normal perspective. So I'll show you what difference it makes if you switch to your normal perspective Java screen. So the moment I click on Java from here, see, my earlier, the same way, my whole window is written. Okay, so this was one important thing that I wanted to tell you, because these two lines, everyone are, everyone in the market is telling and expressing, but these two lines is something which should be new, and it is always appreciated if you express more information about a simple concept that you have learned things into deep. Okay, okay, guys, so quit is going to throw you some other exception, and although the same exception, but the reason of this exception is different, and it is also going to throw the same exception, but the reason of the exception again is different over here. Okay, now guys, in case like your web driver equals new chrome driver. Okay, so if you want to run this whole thing, okay, if you want to really run this whole thing, commenting down the close part and the driver, just a second, the title part, because I'm going to get title again and again in that case. Okay, now the same thing if you want to run on your, let's say, Mozilla Firefox. So the only thing that you have to change over here is Firefox driver. You have to add over here, and you have to simply press Control Shift and O, and your import is over here. Now you will run. Okay, okay. Now if you will run, okay, see, my editor is giving me some problems, guys. So that may be the reason that I'll just close everything after the session. I'll try if I'm able to get the same issue or not. Now see guys, now it is running everything on Mozilla, right? So earlier there was some, there were some things happening that, in the market, that you have to set your properties, you set your system properties with key and, value pairing, and where you have to keep the value as the path of that particular, browser.exe file, and then you have to write, webdriver.gecko.driver, because for Firefox Gecko was used. So now, after Selenium 4, we are fortunate enough that, we are not on those days that, every time we are going to open our new browser, we have to set system properties, and we have to take care of the version of that particular exe file, that it matches with the version of the browser that I have in my system. I don't even think that I have, Mozilla in my system. Okay, let me check. Okay, there is some issue with my system itself, is I'm not able to get this thing only. So maybe that's the reason I'm getting the errors over here. I'll just restart my system after this class, and maybe things will be fine with me. Just check at your end. The moment you will, debug your code and you stop your code at some point, you just mouse over and you just see the session ID, you will definitely get the session ID over here. Okay, and then just quit or close your browser, and then again try and find your session ID in this line number 38, like this. So you will be able to identify what is happening to the session ID. Okay, okay guys, now what will happen is, see, this is how you are going to start your Firefox driver. In the same way, you can start your H driver also. H driver is all what you have to write, and then it will throw the exception or the error, and it will say that please manage your imports. So just press Control Shift and O, so it will delete Firefox driver, because it will delete all the necessary imports and it will add all the necessary imports. So I'm just pressing on Control Shift O, and then my Firefox driver is replaced by H driver. Okay, now I am just pressing on Control S. Okay, I am still getting these errors. So now I'm running it again. So let's see which window is getting opened. Okay, so now my Edge driver is opening, and my Microsoft Edge is being controlled by the automated software, and the same thing is happening over here, and I'm getting my URL. Okay, and I'm getting my page title as well. Okay, so just in case if you have to get this noted, that there is no need to you know set any system property or do any Bonigar CIPI thing. Okay, no need of all that. Okay, so this was one thing that I wanted to share with you guys. Okay, this was the huge issue with the quit and close thing. Okay, although you can still say what is said in the market, that quit is quitting all the browser windows and close is only closing the current browser window where Selenium is pointing right now. Okay, but it is always good if you add more information to your answers.